The Walt Disney World Resort is in desperate need of drawing back audiences. The Disney stock crashed, and in no small part due to the fact that the C-suite of Disney declares Disney World attendance is likely to be soft, down, or flat for the next quarter. But how do they get the audience back? How do they bring the crowds to the theme parks again? Well, they're doing something special in Animal Kingdom, and we here exclusively are ready to tell you exactly what is coming with their next expansion. Hello folks, welcome back to the place where we keep you ahead of that culture curve. We also keep scooping, and scooping. A track record of excellence here. 92.5% accuracy on our leaks and scoops in the year 2023. And it is our sincere hope and desire to keep that track record excellent going into this year. And that's why we are bringing to you exclusively what we believe is coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom in the next 5 years. We're talking about Dinoland USA going away and bringing to you a new town called Esperanza. In high detail, we're going to explain to you what you can expect, and then you can determine, is this the sort of thing that would bring me back to the Sunshine State, to beautiful Orlando, and to the Walt Disney World Resort that once upon a time was the vacation kingdom of the world. That park place, though, this is where it's at. And the greatest part about this, just like we revealed exclusively what happens inside all of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, today we're ready to reveal this, and we did not have to shill, not for a single moment. Can you believe it, folks? All of these pixie dusters out there doing anything they can, the song and dance, to get one-day early access, and here we are breaking all of this down for you. Tremendous thank you sent out to our sources who make this possible. And if some of our sources are watching right now, who have provided us with this information, you know that we are so gracious. We have such gratitude for you. All right. Major changes coming to Animal Kingdom's Dinoland faster than you think. Exclusive Esperanza details. And there's some stuff in here that you might not know and you might want to know. Here's what it says. When Disney announced changes for Dinoland USA were on the way, many guests and pundits thought it would surely take a long time, considering the slow pace of Disney construction in the past. Who can forget the many years of Tron to the point the ride had mold and mildew on its canopy before opening? And one would be forgiven for such pessimism, given that Epcot has undergone 6 years of transformation, only to be perhaps a worse version of itself than when the construction began. And it's still not finished. But when it comes to Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney World Resort, the timetable is being moved up considerably according to sources I have spoken with. And yes, I'm the author of this, so I can say that. Not only should we expect a massive rush to close Dinoland and open the town of Esperanza, set in Central America, but the details are actually quite nice. According to sources we've spoken with, work is already underway to open the refurbished land in the southeastern portion of Animal Kingdom with great haste. That's impressive given it's not even closed yet. A carousel of animals is under construction in Bali. And again, folks, this is brand new. No one else is covering this. No one else knows this outside of the company. You are hearing this for the first time. A carousel of animals is under construction in Bali, being carved in that country. Land is being cleared for Imagineers to take up work residence. Animated ride-throughs of a new Indiana Jones attraction have been generated. And all of this is to help prepare a theme park that is losing attendance despite Pandora's amazing atmosphere. One of the goals, increase the number of attractions guests want to ride in order to keep guests at the park for much, much longer. And folks, guess what? It's Disney World Leak Week here on this channel. So tomorrow, we're going to break for you what happens with the Indiana Jones ride. And no, it is not a clone of Disneyland. And you're hearing that exclusively for the first time right now. It is not a clone of Disneyland. It is new, and we'll break down for you what happens in that ride in the next day. Also, don't forget that thatparkplace.com, as well as That Park Place, the YouTube channel, they're going to be breaking stories all this week as part of Disney World Week Leak. Short on real animals, but dense on attractions, Esperanza will be home to a carousel, a very impressive trackless ride celebrating the new Encanto, and the current dinosaur ride will be transformed into an all-new Indiana Jones thrill ride. We're going to skip the Indy stuff right now. We'll come back to that tomorrow. Perhaps the most exciting part of this new land taking over Dinoland, and again, folks, this is exclusive. You're hearing this for the first time. No one else knows this outside of the company. Taking over Dinoland will be the Encanto attraction. That is known, the details not, which we are told will be similar in layout to Phantom Manor from the International Disney Parks. The story here is thematically appropriate with guests going to celebrate at the Madrigal's Casita. This is where no one knows this yet. Welcome aboard, folks. You get to be the first ones to know. But things go awry after visiting Antonio's room. That's the little kid who speaks to the animals in the movie, where guests are taken into a magical animal adventure they can't seem to escape. Luckily, the Madrigal family will join with all their powers to rescue the guests and bring them back to safety. You can definitely expect sightings of Bruno as well. And while all of this sounds good, in fact, I think it's a huge positive, there are negatives that go along with what Disney is doing in Animal Kingdom. Unfortunately, despite Disney's claims of turbocharging the parks, there are major budget constraints here, as reported to us. Josh D'Amaro, the president of Disney Parks and Experiences, is reported to have told Imagineers that they should do just enough to make existing buildings look like they weren't just painted new colors. That's not a good sign, even if D'Amaro is constrained by financial limits, just like everyone else at Disney. Work to incorporate Kocho is also lackluster at best. A dark ride into the land of the dead for Dia de los Muertos has fallen through with no plans to bring it to life. It's a major missed opportunity. I'm also disappointed that there's not a bigger focus on animal exhibits like at the rest of the park. Many of the animals of Central and South America are seldom seen in zoos. This could have been an excellent opportunity. So apologies to the sloths out there. And perhaps most importantly, removing dinosaurs from the park is a negative. Little boys are always going to love dinosaurs. If Disney really wanted to spend money well, they could have built this land east of Expedition Everest and revitalized the dinosaur area. It's a shame they didn't do that. But overall, I have to say that these changes are likely to benefit Animal Kingdom. I just hate the dinosaurs had to go to make it possible. And so that is the story today as we continue Disney World Week Leak, bringing you information before anyone else knows it. So some of the things that are brand new that no one else knew. The carousel figures are being currently constructed in Bali. They are being carved by an artist there. Not only that, but the Encanto ride is based on Phantom Manor. It is a trackless ride system, we are told, and it will feature you having to be rescued by the Madrigal family with all of their powers and by Bruno after things go crazy inside Antonio's room. Folks, you're welcome. That's the today's big news where we are leaking out everything coming to Disney World over the next 5 years. Bro, they love us for it. This is exactly how they want it announced. Go ahead,
I know it was unconscious, but when you listen to this later, you're going to find that you just called it Disney Week Leak as opposed to Leak Week.
Well, speaking of which, it is a week leak for Disney today.
It certainly is.
That's right. Not looking good for them. But panel, Lou, Nolan, what do you guys think about, and Lorena, of course. Maybe we should start with Lorena. Lorena, what do you make of these announced changes now that I'm putting out there, putting my my track record on the line? What do you make of these changes coming to Animal Kingdom? Are you in favor or against these?
Oh man, I'm kind of split. The reason why, and I think I mentioned this on a video with you a couple of weeks or months ago, that if they brought Encanto to the Animal Kingdom, if Antonio was the vector in which they brought it in, that it would work. The reason why, being that since Antonio's magical gift is that he can communicate with animals, that would line up with the conservation message of the Animal Kingdom. So I was okay with if that happened. So I'm excited that this is happening. But what I'm not happy about is getting rid of the dinosaurs. It's like, why? Universal's making a ton of money off of Jurassic Park. As a matter of fact, the Velocicoaster is like one of the most packed attractions that they have over there. So I really don't feel that they needed to sacrifice Dinoland, because I thought Dinoland was so cheesy, full of cheesy fun. The kids loved it. You know, you got to learn, at least they used to, about the dinosaurs. So you got some edutainment in there as well. So while I like the fact that they're going to bring Antonio and Encanto into the park, I don't like it that it's at the expense of dinosaurs. And I'm really disappointed that they didn't go full in on the idea with Coco, because Coco was a far superior film to
right. We're losing Coco, basically. I think Coco may still be a restaurant, which is currently a Pizzafari, so it may still get a restaurant. But I think that's pretty lackluster considering what Coco could have been.
Absolutely. And if you ever want to see like the atmosphere of Coco, if you go over to Philhar Magic, which I was very suspect when they said they were going to update it with Coco, because I'm like, they're just going to mess this total thing up. That is one of the best parts in Philhar Magic, where you're literally immersed in the world of Coco and just how beautiful it is. It's it's a spectacular view for the eyes. So yeah, it really is. It's a huge miss, because Coco was so beloved, and I'm just like, how come they couldn't put that in here? So that's my opinion.
And it comes down to money. I mean, that's just the bottom line. This is a money situation, and we've covered just how tight they're penny pinching Josh DeMauro here. We've talked, for all the turbocharging they've talked about, we now know essentially that Splash Mountain animatronics were broken down, and their parts were used to build the new Country Bear animatronics, and they did that because they didn't have the budget to reuse those animatronics in Splash Mountain for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. That's why we're going from 70 animatronics at Tiana's to 13 to 17 with the new version. And this is the kind of situation we're in, where they're not willing to build new lands. At Animal Kingdom, they've got to take pre-existing lands and change them. It's probably a net positive, but that's only because of how poorly they have maintained Dinoland USA. Lou, Nolan, any thoughts on this topic?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Do you want to go first, Lou?
No, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. When you have a park like Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, where pretty much all of the park, is on they have limited space. There's only so much they can work with. So whenever they want to do something new and exciting, like say a giant roller coaster or something like that, something has to be sacrificed in order for something better to come along. Disney, they have so much land, and who's in charge of the budget of these parks? Because I know they're definitely having some financial struggles right now, but if you just keep switching out your attractions for replacement ones, is your money really, in your profit margins, really going to increase that much? Hearing this news, for me, it's just like a sigh of relief to see that it didn't, say they put a Coco attraction replacing where Three Javieros is at Epcot. For this, if you're just constantly retheming your rides, what are you going to gain from this? Do they not have enough long-term stats in order to say, hey, this is a really bad idea, let's not do that? Because really, if you're a theme park organizer, you should limit how many times you do this, because you're just losing out on opportunities to make more money. And yes, side note, I'm extremely salty that they got rid of the Wild Mouse coaster in Animal Kingdom. They closed it back in 2020. It was called
Primeval World.
Primeval World. Yes, thank you. That was the best Wild Mouse coaster I ever rode. It was so much better than the trashy one at Busch Gardens. Yeah, I'm saying that. It was fun, but they keep destroying the things people like. They retheme the things people like. And when they're making something from the ground up, you get Moana's Way of the Water. No wonder kids don't care about this stuff. They're doing everything they can to sell trash, and it's not going to go a long way. And I just don't understand how the people in charge of approving where the budget needs to go can't see that this isn't a viable long-term option. It baffles my mind.
There's a lot of effort. This is another thing that we know now. There's a lot of effort inside Disney. They think the way to redeem Disney World right now, which, you heard during the earnings report, that the money they're making per guest is not doing so well. They think that they just need to, quote unquote, activate. That's their new buzzword. Activate all the parts of their parks. So they know, for example, that Epcot in the middle is struggling. They just need to activate it by getting, new musicians in there and performers. Luke can tell you about those performers and their spinning ball of whatever that is. But
the pole dancers.
Yes, exactly. And so, they are attempting to draw people into this part of the park, but they're not interested, it seems, in building new areas of the park. And these parks need greater capacity, right? But they're focusing, it seems to me, on building more cruise ships. That's where all of the effort is. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end yet again. But an honor it was to have you here with us. We appreciate you, truly. And if you appreciate us, perhaps we could be so lucky as to have you click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. And yes, drop a comment down below. You know what? Those social media platforms, you can use them too. Share this sucker out anywhere you would like. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.